So on
Ash
player one side.
picking the twins.
Oh my god. Alright, so on player one side we got Red Jams in the red playing Emeric. And player two, Ash playing twins. There, sneaky.
Emeric and
Oh no, sorry, Saykoya, do you want to explain like why this is quite funny?
So basically, Red Jams is the current, like, let's say twins master, I guess. And one of his saying was, the best way to counter the twins is like just be player 2, and then if player 1 picks the twins, you can also pick the twins. And when a fire comes out, you can also place your fire, and then nothing happens because there's too much fire on the map for anything to happen. However, if you pick player 1 and you don't pick the twins and player 2 picks the twins, you don't have that option anymore. Which is really funny, because Red Jams is the one playing twins usually.
He is, and he's the one that's like been practicing this map a lot. Like Ash is well known for saying that he just wants to play maps without like putting a huge amount of time investment into learning them first. Like he prefers to play out like the game with like less knowledge, and it's more about like raw thinking during the match. So seeing him like counter pick perfectly is just really funny.
Also, twins have a pretty good matchup into Emeric. If you like put aside the fact that Emeric is fast and the twins are medium, the twins can just fire Emeric's crystal, and yeah, what is he gonna do, you know?
Yep. I also like that we're seeing like very different openings out of the two of them. So Ash is sending his commander center, whereas what we're seeing from Red Jams is he's sending his commander to the side. Like, do you two have like thoughts about like how this plays out in this kind of circumstance?
I think this favors the side commander quite a bit, because well, through practice at least with Red Jams notably, I found that while you were sending your CO to the center, you would always end up going to the side in the end anyways, so might as well send it to the side first. You secure economy earlier that way.
ultimately,
And yeah. Go ahead, Sneaky.
oh, so I've tried like side and a side, like top and a top and a bottom, and last match center and a center. It really doesn't matter if you're player 2. I think player 2 has one correct choice, but player 1 can go in any direction and it will be more or less the same thing.
Really? Oh, and actually we're good. We're
So-
seeing a wagon opening from Ash.
Ash has definitely been studying this. Like, I don't think you just figure this out on the fly. Like, and this is what I used in my game too, and it's so good as player 2. Like, this kind of sending the commander up north with a wagon.
I don't think it's that good, because you're gonna have a fight for the 2 top left villages with CO versus CO. But the top right villages are probably going to go to player 1 in this case. So I don't think you should really do that. And I mean, Jams is gonna be healed. Oh, never mind, he chooses to go center. Huh.
Oh,
I guess he doesn't want to fight into CO with the tower nearby. That also makes sense.
Yeah, and like if you go for the capture on the village, the twins will just knock them down. This is something I think people should do more, is just kind of like abandon villages that are going to get smacked by an enemy commander.
Yep, that's is the entire basis of the Spacefront school of play, I guess. I still think Red Gems could have healed his commander on the village to the left, and still denied quite a bit from Ash. My bad.
I do. So one thing though is that if you heal fully from a village, it's not as gold efficient as like in this circumstance where that village is going to heal up a bit, and then he'll heal to like almost like 92, I think. Yeah, 92, and that means like the extra tick of like that one turn of healing will put him to like 97, and that's effectively healing your commander to full, and it costs way less gold to do that. So I think this method is like slightly more gold efficient.
Yep, but I wouldn't like change my opening just to adjust something like that. I mean, I guess now that Red Gems has chosen to go center with his commander, the whole point of the wagon opening, which is to fight into the commander going upwards, kind of means that the wagon is kind of just there, and I guess it'll ferry some spears now because you still have a wagon on the field, but
Oh, the wagon's
Wagon
really valuable.
yeah, the wagon's pretty good on this map, don't get me wrong, but he didn't get the value in the opening that he was looking for.
No, he did. So this wagon thing, I don't know if it predates this, but like I was playing a couple practice games with Zero, and they did it to me as P1, and I was like, screw that. So then I started doing it turn 3 as P2, and I think Red Jam started doing it after playing against Uranix. So it kind of like started spreading, I think, from Zero. I don't know if somebody else did it first. But the idea is the wagon can give you pressure to stop the commander from going top. And once you've stopped it and you've secured the villages, then you can use it to start ferrying between the top left side and mid, which is really important because player 2 often gets a lot of units stuck up there.
I mean, I think Red Gems found it himself from what we were talking during practice. So, I mean, it's entirely possible. But, well, during my practice when Red Gems was testing this out, I chose to fight at the top left, and it still was pretty good as player 1 because the thing is, if there was one more road, you could ferry the commander to a very good position to counter player 1's position. But because you can only go like to the left, or you can only cover one of the 2 villages with your commander, player 1 still has a pretty good position for 1 turn at least. So I mean, this opening is pretty good, don't get me wrong, but I don't think it's the best. But, I mean, at this point we're getting into details about the opening, which, I mean, you go for what you want, and that's probably how it turns. And oh, hang on.
Oh, he's being... Well, I guess here's the cool thing about this wagon, right? Is like you can back this commander up with a spear in air. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, but...
Oh, that is a night crit though.
Yeah, Ash playing with fire. If one sword could step on this river tile, he would actually be dead right there.
Sword suicide is possible kill.
No, there's no... Like, the sword
45,
won't do it.
45.
Yeah, from
Yeah, no, you're
lanes,
right.
it's not
It's not
really
enough.
likely.
Even if it happens, it would do too little
This is
damage.
such a ballsy bait. Like, he's just saying, come on then, knight, just like come straight into me. Then he's got a spear set up to like block it. That is some like, I won't say reckless, but it's obviously very calculated. Like, the twins aren't gonna die here.
Twins could get pretty damaged. Like, Emeric could get a hit on the twins and get groove off of it.
He'd be standing in the river though.
He can hit from the left.
That's true.
I don't quite understand this knight positioning. It doesn't crit the village in the south, It doesn't. It covers the sword that's damaged, but that's it really.
The knight, I think, just moved as far as it could.
No, it
oh,
only
wait.
moved like 3
No,
tiles.
Oh, Ash's knight.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I think
Right.
no, he's
Oh,
covering.
sorry, I
He's
can't say that on
covering
the stream.
He's covering the village so that Emeric doesn't kill it.
And I think we're maybe gonna see a balloon here.
I mean, looking at his army comp, it's most likely because it's like swords, spears, one knight, one wagon, and that's it.
This is a very like the stereotypes like this is a very Ash composition where he's like got lots of spears and just kind of oh, but he doesn't buy anything.
No balloon.
I guess he's saving for a turn, which makes sense. Like he could build a dragon or a golem next turn now.
I think the knight was just a misclick or something.
No, I think it's to prevent Emeric from hitting the village, the 6 HP village. near the
Oh,
center.
that's a good point actually. So yeah, it's defensive coverage more than aggressive.
Alright, so this forest here is really weird to put your commander onto because you'd think it's safer because you're in a forest. However, because there's 2 rivers next to it, that opens up some really like unexpected suicides and can't really. I mean, it really depends, but sometimes it's just safer to be on a plain style.
In this situation, though, it's pretty safe. The twins can only
Yeah.
really hit from a bad position.
That's true. And I mean, this center terrain is made so that it's possible to hold the center, but it's not very likely, I guess. Which is kind of what's happening, is that you have to think about putting your commander on the center. You can't just like, oh, it's not like if there was just a mountain and you put your commander on a mountain.
What's interesting to me is that Red Gems, even though they went for a turbo golem opening, like just tons of swords, get golem as quick as possible one night, they are not playing an econ opening. They let Ash get extra economy, even though they were player 1, and they let Ash get position. Red Gems gave up a lot in this opening that they didn't have to, just to keep the twins from getting groove.
I want to see a dragon here. I think that is a really good option.
Yeah,
It forces a witch by, because otherwise the dragon can just destroy these villages. And then at that point, like, you still have a dragon and it will go around flying around doing damage.
That's true. There's no mages out at this point from either player.
I think Red Gems might also like to see a dragon, because that'll let Emeric start mage spamming.
That is
That's
true
a
as
good
well.
point. That's a good point. Dragon is not as good into Emeric because mages can one-shot it.
I mean, like, you guys are saying that, but I did attack an enemy golem that was under an Emeric crystal with a dragon in my game and won because of it. So
I mean,
it's all about situational stuff.
of course, it's just that some interactions lean more into Emeric than other commanders, let's say.
It's very true.
Yeah, goes for his own golem. It's a more, I guess, long-term play, maybe?
It's a good unit for the twins to have early on. Because if you're going to go for early fire, you need some tanky things to hold position. A dragon can't do that. The dragon's a little bit good in the mid game, when maybe there's not too much anti-air, but you can like fly around the fire or snipe something that the fire is protecting.
Also,
I think dragon is better against the twins than for the twins, I guess.
I just want to say on the golem point, Night Crit plus golem hit will kill an HQ. So that is like,
That's true.
quite nice to have. Yeah, base 90 damage to buildings.
I'm sorry, base what?
Base 90 damage to buildings is what a golem has. So
Okay, okay.
45 against
Regular
headquarters.
buildings,
Yeah.
regular.
Yes.
That would be pretty ridiculous if it did 90 damage to a headquarters. Funnily, if a golem could crit 100%, it would one-shot a headquarters.
It would one-shot everything it can hit. It can hit.
Not a... I don't think it will one-shot a commander. Maybe it will. That
I mean,
might be
it does
terrain
40
dependent.
base damage, so I guess maybe not on a mountain, but
Wouldn't on planes, actually.
actually, yeah, you're right.
But anyway,
it-
like...
Still quite a lot of damage.
One thing I'm noticing is that, like, because this is like kind of a complicated board state because neither player really has the tools to attack into their opponent yet. So
Yeah.
the big disadvantage here is that Ash is the kind of guy that will take time to think about complicated board states. And like he's already spent a good 10 minutes and we're on turn 6.
Yeah, Ash will do better as player 1. Player 1's a little bit stronger on this map.
I
But
think
ultimately-
that's, opinion dependent, but you know.
He's
Mm,
moved his knight into a position where it will crit the bottom village. Sadly, the enemy spear won't be able to move into a position where it can counter that effectively. Oh,
The
okay.
Oh. Yeah, I was about to say, in this board state, it's like neither player can attack yet, so you're looking to get groove for later. And I was thinking maybe Ash was gonna send his commander to the bottom right before Red Jams can establish a defensive position there. But this is very, very aggressive.
something has to go to the top of the twins, or this is a kill, because Emeric can hover top and Knight can take the right side. Pike isn't enough to one-shot the Knight. Maybe if they put sufficient things to the left with double swords, they could stop the Knight thing, but I think there really has to be something on top of the
I mean,
twins.
he's probably gonna put the wagon, but
The sword will do it. Now Emeric can't go on top of the twins, but that's a free sword?
you can kill the sword and then sword crit the wagon.
This is such a bizarre... yeah, I don't quite understand what's gonna happen here.
I think this is probably favoring Red Jams, this position, because if they choose to fight over here, the golem will reach first, and any unit he chooses to build will reach before Ash's units, especially since Ash doesn't have a balloon.
There's no threat on Emeric. I don't know how many sword suicides you have here. Maybe 2, maybe even 3. You're still not killing
it's
Emeric.
just 2. I think he would take too much damage from double swords for sword to work.
It is Forest, so let's say you somehow get 3, which is possible. You've dealt, I don't know, 30 damage. 35.
Yeah, but
You're down to
I
like
doubt,
65.
I doubt that the twins and all the army around it will be at full health, so when it comes to that.
Weirdly, there's not a lot that can attack here, though. Like, sure, he can take out a sword. But that's really it. Like, he's gonna hit twins.
What?
This means he can sword crit the sword on the left.
Yeah. You can also sword crit the sword in the river.
Well, it's not a crit, but it'll do a lot of damage.
Oh yeah, my bad. It's not a crit. Yeah. And Emeric will have 90% groove next turn.
But yeah, there's only so much that can really be done here in counterattack, and twins are sitting on 80% groove. Which, this hit from Emeric is actually technically helping Ash to an extent. Because his groove, he's going to have it in, what, 3 turns now?
Yeah, 3 turns. That's if he doesn't hit anything. Or nobody hits him.
And he's got the wagon for the escape, so he can just pull back.
Yeah,
He
but
doesn't even need it. He could go up to, right to, heal.
Yeah, that's true.
Ash did take he did take some damage during this turn, and he can't afford to fight here because he needs to back off right now. His units haven't arrived yet, and Red Jams will get the first strike on everything basically. Also, kind of funny to notice both knights were in position to threaten the side villages.
I actually wonder if Red Jams is just going to run up and hit that village.
I mean, he should, I think. There's nothing there.
Like, he could clear the really low health sword, but the village is free. Like, he can just go and smack it. Whereas,
Very
you
little
know,
reason
Ash
not
can't
to.
do that because there's a spear covering. So yeah, he's going to go in for that. And I will point out again for the people watching that this is on a 2-minute delay, so Red Jams definitely did not hear us say that and go for it. Actually, thinking about it, Ash didn't lose a single unit there. He took damage on his commander, and one of his swords is on low health.
Also, did Red Jams roll badly onto the twins? Because they have 3% health difference right now.
It doesn't look like it was a great roll.
That's pretty unfortunate, I guess, but I think still Ash cannot really afford to stay here.
The funny thing is, I mean, actually, the one thing Ash could do is you could trap that knight up there, so it can't escape. Like, you could wagon a spear up and block it.
I don't think he could get top and bottom though.
He doesn't need to get the top though, because the knight's just gonna run around. Like, you just build a harpy or something to stop the crit on the tower.
Knight can decap the tower, yeah.
Oh, you just build a harpy there though, and then the harpy will deal with the knight eventually.
I mean, Harpy's not that great in this situation because, you don't have to fight to take these villages back. So I don't think it would be that great of a buy. And then you have a Harpy into Emeric, and that's not very good. Although I will say, only one mage so far from Ash, from Red Jam.
Yeah.
And no mages from Ash actually. Where
I actually
are the
think
balloons?
if there was a mage here, he probably could have killed Emeric. Mage heal onto commander and just I don't know. Would that have worked? Maybe.
There's not enough.
Nah, I don't think so.
You only have 2 sides, 90 comm into planes. What's that gonna do? 35 or something? 37.
And you only have 20 with the spear as your second hit.
I actually think he's gonna move that wagon and the spear up to block the knight in.
He could. It's
Yeah.
possible.
Maybe even use the commander instead of the spear. Just like trap the knight up there. Build a harpy. And then, oh, here we go.
This is not a standard game.
That is not what I expected. I really thought he was gonna go from the south. Although, actually... Oh no, like the sword will clear it. But he could have moved his low health sword to trap it.
I think he's just defending from the knight crit onto the tower.
And also take a look at Ash's gold. He builds a harpy. His land build is going to be a little bit weak.
Yeah.
Oh, but you kill a knight.
It does.
Like, I think it's worth it. He's gonna... So
you
I
don't
guess...
kill a knight because a sword can kill that sword. And like...
No, but I mean, like, if you built a harpy and trapped from underneath, I think, like, you will just kill the knight eventually. But he goes mage and knight, which I think is also a very good option.
Then he needed money for the calm heal. I can't figure out that 1 health sword. What's that doing?
It just forces, like, one sword to come forward to clear it, which means
it's
he'll
not
kill that
that
sword in
bad
return.
because you're trading a 1 health sword against a full health sword, basically, if everything goes your way. But like, if Red Jams puts more unit behind that sword that's gonna kill the 1 health sword, it's not really gonna go that way. But Ash really needs to move his 3 swords a little faster, right?
Yeah, this is a
I
lot of
have to
time
say.
for 3 swords that aren't doing anything.
Like, he hasn't been practicing his shuffling. You need to. It's a funny thing to do where you just like move your entire army like 2 squares forward, but since you have to move every single unit, it takes time.
Ash definitely practiced their opening. This was pretty much... yeah. But past that point, it seems like they're trying to take every turn, turn by turn. You can't do that on this map. Every single turn is like a puzzle, every single turn is an engagement. You have to have bigger objectives and go for them, and then react to how your opponent plays. Like, if Ash could do this like fast, nobody would be able to beat him. But it's not quick enough to make all these calculations.
I think Red Gems has a pretty good like grasp on how the game plays right now. He had kind of the foresight to put Emeric center because he knew like Twins would try to get Groove, go for a village, stuff like that. Which they did, and which Red Gems technically did punish a little bit by killing a sword.
Yeah, but that's 1 sword for a lot of groove on your commander.
I'm thinking the Emeric Twins matchup is pretty interesting because since Emeric gets Groove first, he could like position his crystal in a way that the Twins would have to use the fire on it. Which means that the Twins can never really get to fire the HQ.
Oh yeah, because he's one of the few commanders that can just build a defensive front wherever he wants. So, like, Twins throws down fire near the headquarters, he just moves forward with his army and puts a crystal and says, like, attack into me, I'm a mountain.
I think the coolest thing about this game is how these 2 players are using swords instead of other units. Red Jams is not going mage heavy, he's going sword heavy Emeric. Because once that crystal goes up, each sword can become a tank.
I mean, I'm thinking maybe he should have gone a little more balloon heavy Emeric, you know? seeing as there's one mage on Ash's side.
Yeah, there is a very surprising lack of balloon, considering that there is only one mage on each side. Oh, what's Red Jam's gonna do with this spear?
Yeah, I think Red Gems isn't gonna go mage or balloon heavy because he's been building golems like every other turn.
Yeah, this is very much a I'm gonna make swords and I'm gonna make golems and I'll have some mages in there somewhere.
The thing is, if you're gonna twins fire the HQ, you've got to get a little bit closer than that.
Yeah. Red Gems already has a good position to defend from fire. So Ash is gonna have to battle for groove, then for position, then for the HQ.
The thing is, it's not perfect. You could twins fire from there. Emeric would have to be a little bit more forward to prevent it. But they
That's
can't
true,
do
but
it well.
You also don't have groove yet.
An option that we didn't see, but I think is actually really strong on this map, is like making a thief. So instead of that second night, like a thief comes out and that threatens these south villages.
Oh, but the thief takes forever to get there.
It's like 2 turns to reach those villages, and then you can just balloon it back.
The problem is, it's a very big cost investment.
Yeah.
If you're gonna do that, you have to commit. You need
Also
the early
depending-
balloon, you need the early thief, or you need to take a turn where you build those things. Red Gems wasn't going to do that. They wanted this golem.
Also, depending on your opening, it can like some openings need to skip the hideouts to be like to have maximum efficiency. So for some openings, an early thief isn't possible at all. And like when I open on this map, I find myself I have to send a sword backwards to capture the hideout, which I mean I never use anyways. So hideout definitely is. I mean, I think the hideout is useful because the thief, if you spawn a thief, it can steal from your village next to the stronghold in 1 turn. And I think that's the purpose of the hideouts, is that if the enemy does an early push middle and captures the village, a thief can punish them.
That's a good idea. Like, thief math is pretty much you spend 400 for a thief. So that's 400 in a unit. That's basically useless. Then it steals, giving you a 300 drop in your opponent. You still haven't made up the thief yet. If it dies, it's a complete loss. But if you can get it back to the hideout, then it's another 300 jump. So ultimately it made itself up, plus 200 gold and decap something. Problem is, if you're building a balloon, and it's wasting time on that thief, and you're also paying for some of the balloons. So ultimately, it's kind of a wash. You need the thief to steal 2 things to really be useful, or the village you flip has to be something you would not have been able to flip with a knight, would not have been able to take any other way. It has to give you enough econ for it to be worth it.
I think they're gonna trade corner villages here, maybe. Although Ash is doing it first, so it does put him at a slight advantage. But we could also see Emeric going for the HQ and plopping a crystal in the middle topper area.
Ash is definitely rotating to take the southeast. Like, he's got a golem that will help cover down there. He could move his knight forward to cover that as well, so...
I think it's a trick. I think he's trying to force Emeric to go to one side or the other. And he can take the other side and set up fire and start moving. That's not a great attack position right there. That sword can go down. The pike can get a pretty free hit into the other sword. Your golem can go in to block it up. The other golem can go in to back it up. If Emeric really wanted to, he could take complete control of the right side, take a unit, weaken another unit. He could flip that village back right now if he wants to. Maybe not take it in the same turn, but...
He can't take it, but he can knock it down.
I mean, I guess you can take it if you use a sword and a mage to kill the other sword.
Yeah.
And then you just put your golem behind, I guess. But like red gems won't have to commit much into the top left to reclaim it, so I think that's the more important part, is that if Ash is trying to bait Emeric into going bottom right fully, he probably should have defended the top left better, so that the best move for Emeric would indeed have been to go bottom right. Right now, Emeric can put up a soft defense of the bottom right, so that Ash has to invest more if he wants it, like to see how willing Ash is going to be to go there. But he doesn't have to commit much to taking the top left villages, and yeah, he just uses swords for that. These swords are in position to get the other corner village if nothing happens. I think I want to see Red Jams just put his crystal down and advance on the HQ right now. This way, you also take the bottom right. Oh, yes, we see the ballista.
Wow.
I knew it. I knew it. Yes.
Perfect for the long game there. There's not any air on the field. Built a ballista into no air.
Ballista is meant to defend. It doesn't matter if there's air or not.
He's just going for damage. Doesn't care about that village.
I mean, if you want to
Probably the right
defend,
call.
if you want to defend the bottom right, ballista is pretty good for that. Especially against this very spear-heavy composition from Ash. Your ballista is like Ash will either have to attack into a ballista that will chip down a spear every turn, and that will at least do it for 2 turns before the spears can really get in on the action, or this ballista is just gonna zone out the spears. And you see where the 7th sword is right now? That's like a very good outpost for the ballista, because I mean, you can put a golem above. There's a village next to it, and I think he's gonna do that.
Oh, I don't think.
I think this makes sense, because you can keep the crystal alive, and the ballista will just slowly walk up.
Die.
Right, but the big problem here is the twins. They end their turn, they get groove.
Oh,
If they
yeah,
had
that's
one
right.
more knight, they'd be in a solid position. But unfortunately, their knights are in the wrong spot. They need them to be on the left. Otherwise, the twins could front switch right now, plant fire while still being in a spot to defend the stronghold,
Yep.
and then start shimmying for like 3 turns. Emeric basically moved off of where he needed to be to force twins off that fire spot. He's going aggressive. He's going to be like, you go for my stronghold, I'll go for yours. And his position's really, really good, but only the golem is threatening right now. So it all comes down to whether or not Ash can put up a defense while going left, because there's no way he's going to fire down now.
I mean, Ash could put the fire to repel this Emeric attack, I guess.
Yeah, you can just throw it on the crystal.
Not with 20 minutes left. That would be...
Yeah, that would be going for the very, very long game, which, since you're down on time, you don't really want to do.
Ash sort of got what they wanted. Emeric was baited to the right. The left is opened. But Emeric is in too good a position to attack the stronghold right now. So Ash can't just abandon it. He'd have to have things that could kill and deal with the golem. Now might be a good time for that dragon.
Oh, actually, he just uses his knight to kill the mage and builds a dragon, and then like, Jams is suddenly forced into position.
And then the ballista can counter the dragon.
Oh, but the ballista doesn't cover that much. And a dragon will just... Oh, actually, he's going for it. Oh. Ash, a man after my heart.
I mean, I don't think this is very good, because you're gonna lose the knight, at least. And if you wanna support the knight, you're gonna have to fight into crystal, which you don't wanna do. You're also gonna have to fight into ballista if this fight goes on for too long.
Oh, but if you think about the timing, he's gonna have fire. So I guess like Crystal's gonna be alive for at least 2 turns, right?
Yep.
Because he takes 1 more turn to get fire, and then he takes a turn to plop
I guess
it down.
two of Ash's turn.
Oh right, yeah.
Ballista wins the race. Ballista definitely wins the race. It's Ash's turn. End turn, get groove. Red Jam's turn, Ballista first move. It's still on the plains. Ash's turn, use groove. Start setting up. Red Jam's turn. First turn of smoldering. Not even fire yet. Ballista can move. Bridge. 2. What's its movement? Is it 7 or 6?
It's 6.
It's 6. So right below the spot
the,
Saykoya was talking about.
Is, I guess.
Oh, but the Ballista can't stay there for very long though, because it'll get forced to move when the fire spreads.
That's only if the twins are firing Emeric's position, not if they're firing the HQ to the left.
Yeah, I'm thinking, like, display by Red Jams kind of gets him the control of the economy, because Ash's composition doesn't really deal well with, like, small forces going to one side, like Ash did on the top left. Because, sure, he can only, like, wagon 1 spear, and that's the extent of the front switching he can do. I think a balloon would really help his composition right now, because now he has to walk the spears over. And if his knight was on the left, I guess he could have done that, but the knight was really, like, went to the bottom right to get the village, so that's now the position it's in. And I think this is pretty good by Red Jams, recognizing that Ash's army isn't that good if you split it up.
Really going heavy on the pikes there.
Yep.
Problem is, Emeric has 2 golems.
I'm assuming we're either gonna see a golem or a dragon from Ash, because there's no way he would have saved
It's gotta be a dragon.
money.
Yes, yeah, you don't clear a mage like that, and if you're not intending to build air.
It would be insane not to see a dragon right now. It's not just sacking a knight, that's the twins sacking a knight.
Emeric's actually in a position where he can, hang on, where he can potentially get a lethal, but yeah, spear gets covered,
yeah,
so
spears
that's a
are...
no. But I was thinking the golem can actually hit the HQ this turn.
Oh, but it'll die, especially if a dragon comes out. Like, there's no anti-air, so...
I'm thinking I would really like to see a dog on the top left barracks to just because it would be able to, yeah, maybe on the other side of the barracks, because it would be able to, like, defend the top left village and still allow you to build the dragon. So yeah.
I really hate this knight. Ash has been putting all of his knights on the far right side. If you really wanted to go for twins cheese, then the knights need to be closer to the middle at all times. But he keeps, like, setting up crits like that involve the knights being really close to this side. It's just going to give Red Gems a lot of freedom to play around the knight and ignore them. It doesn't even have to worry about Twins Fire right now. Twins Fire on my crystal, no problem. I'll have another crystal soon.
Yep. That's what I was thinking, is like Red Gems is in a position to attack villages, so even if he loses his crystal, it's not that big of a deal. Yep, going for that other village.
I actually almost would have liked the dragon to come out on the top left. Just mow down all the swords.
I'm thinking you need... I mean, I guess it would have been good, but the dragon on the right makes it so even if there's a crystal, you can't put the golem on the road. Or anything for that matter.
Yeah, Golem can't go in right now.
But that's fine, because Red Gems wants to fight around this ballista. Although, I'm a bit worried that he's gonna abandon his HQ too much. Because Ash could also like choose to march onto his opponent's HQ and put the fire down. That would... I'm not sure like who would win the race, but...
Red Gems would win. Because Ash can't get there in time. You set fire at Smolders, then it appears. You need fire to burn for like 2 turns, 3 turns to really set up the move, and you have to have your knights there. The knights aren't there. It'll take them that long to get there. You give Red Gems 3 turns with 2 golems and a knight, an Emeric crystal. That HQ is going down.
I guess that's true, but the dragon is pretty good on defense here because of this these 5 road tiles in front of the HQ. It's gonna be quite complicated to push into this for Red Gems.
I mean, he's already sacrificing that sword. Like, the dragon will just run up and kill it for free.
Yeah, but it's worth it. Because of the huge econ lead they have right now. Let's just look at that lead.
Ah,
It's
but, like,
200.
that 7 health sword didn't actually need to be there.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Oh no, wait, did it weaken the village?
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, it did. It weakened it for Emeric, I think.
Yeah, I guess each turn
Might-
they're just kind of like swinging the pendulum back and forth on income. But yeah.
Although, yeah, they've been trading villages pretty actively. Although, I think Red Gems can have a slight lead this turn, like next turn at least. Although it'll be like 100 gold, but you know, it's not nothing.
Yeah, Red Gems is a consistent gold lead because he's leading the village taking. Even if Ash does exactly the same thing, you'd have to flip it in reverse for it to be even. Ultimately, that's not something Ash can do. Ash can at most attack 1 village right now. If they go for the 5 village, which the ballista can't hit, instead of the 7 sword, then they could maybe drop 2. But that would just bring it even.
Yeah, I think Red Gems has had a little bit of an econ lead throughout the course of the game, just because his comp is better at raiding villages.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. I think Ash is gonna lose on time at this rate.
Yeah, I think so
Yeah.
as well.
It's looking like
He's
I don't
not
think
even finished
Ash
his
can
10th
even...
turn. Oh, sorry.
Hang on. Did we say he was on like... Did we say he used like 10 minutes and it was like turn 6? Well, 4 turns later, he's now on 13 minutes left. So that's like over 20 minutes for 4 turns. And I mean, at this pace, I don't think he can end the game before he times out.
I think he just has to, like, this turn even run, throw fire down, and get his units in position to do. And, like, use the dragon on defense, because there's nothing really that covers anti-air on the push. Like, the ballista is going to take a while to get to the point where it can threaten to kill anything that's blocking the headquarters.
Just 2 turns. But yeah.
I don't think there's enough time to do anything other than fire cheese. Run to the left, throw down fire, move that knight, build 2 more knights, or at least build 1. Maybe left barracks, start sending it down. No, actually right barracks, because that way you can cross. If you need to. Get the knights there in a couple of turns, and then try to end the game. But he's not doing it. That pike position doesn't look like it's happening. They'd have to be a little bit more to the left. Just like a couple of spaces.
And if we see a defensive fire, it's like... it'll basically be icing on the cake of like...
He would have to play turbo the rest of the game.
Yeah. I don't think he's like slightly shifting his formation a little bit to the left, but don't
it's not
think
as much as I would have put it, but he did just move that pike to the left. Maybe we're about to see it. Can Twins Fire reach that forest?
Yep.
You either want the forest near the stronghold or the tile to the right of it.
Oh, he's setting up a formation so that he could just run left.
Yeah, he's trying to cover both sides, basically.
I think he's going for it. He's got like 10 minutes. Why?
That is
I mean, the knight can get in position next turn regardless, right? Like, before the fire gets active, you can get the knight there.
There's knight from the right barracks, but why did...
Well, he's throwing fire, so... Alright, and that's a decent place to put the fire.
Yeah. It's a good spot. That way he can choke off the middle. That's a really good spot. The basic approach to Twins Fire is that you place it kind of like a 2 and 1 from the stronghold. That way, in 2 turns, it'll cover all the necessary features, but it'll be leaning in one direction to give you some very good night coverage. And I think there are actually a couple turns when you can get some very clean night hits, the last and the second to last, depending on how things turn out. So in 2 turns, that fire won't get the forest tile, but it doesn't need to, because it will get the village and right above the village. The only thing it won't get is the bridge. So if we look at where the night path has to be, it's top and right of the stronghold, or the 2 night crit locations that'll be covered by the fire. 1 up, 1 to the right, 1 more, that's 3, 1 more up, 4, 1 more up, 5 is the bridge, 6 where the twins are standing. So the knights would have to be where the twins are standing, in the river tile, and
1 square behind the twins, actually.
1 square behind? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, on the twins.
Oh, never mind.
On the twins and to the top left of the twins. Those are the 2 spots, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But that doesn't cover... Oh, this is a little bit awkward. So, one of the knights would have to stand on the twins. One of the knights would have to stand in the river or to the top left of the twins.
It's also possible he might do like knight plus spear crit.
Yeah, I think that also is pretty decent.
Because the fire won't have spread to the point. Like, there isn't really enough here to deal with spears up on the top left, and that fire is going to cut that off. The dragon's going to be able to block his headquarters. This is very weird and complicated.
I don't think he's going for the classic cheese. Because it doesn't make any sense with that knight positioning. Maybe he'll bring the knights as backup, But what you said about the pikes had me thinking. I think what he's gonna do is if Emeric puts anything above the fire village, he's immediately going to attack it and start taking gains off that. If Emeric doesn't, the twins are going to come down, flip that village, and then start moving the entire army to the left and try to kill the stronghold with pikes. And Emeric will not be able to get everyone through the fire in time. I think he's trying to do twins fire without knights. And if you do it right, the twins could have the last hit on the stronghold, and the knights could, the pikes could suicide in a couple turns early. It doesn't matter if you go into them; you'll just take damage, and then they'll die, and then there'll be more fire.
Red Gems is just getting ready to hit that headquarters.
I mean, he's already in position for it, so...
It's got the ballista.
He's got the mage to cover the ballista from the dragon, too.
There's that really nice wall around the ballista. Just goes mage, sword, sword, village, giant, Emeric, giant, sword, dog, sword.
And funnily, of all things, because of the positioning of the units around the ballista, like the ballista will crit anything that tries to kill those.
Yeah.
So, ballista crit actually being a factor in a game. But yeah, the dragon's gonna walk up, like fly back up and wall the headquarters. Because the HQ might die otherwise.
Yep.
I don't think 2 golem hits kill the HQ.
But the question, right,
It
there's a
could.
I think
dragon.
his own dragon.
That makes a
That's
lot
a
of sense.
really good build.
Yeah, because he can pick off one of the spears, and like even if he's trading a dragon for a spear, depending on the circumstances, that might actually be worth it.
Yeah, it's worth it if it allows you not to lose the game, I guess. Also, there's only one mage, so
You can't even kill the dragon.
the dragon could just go top left, grab the 2 villages, force the mage to go there, and then front switch to the HQ.
I feel like Ash is probably gonna build a witch just to help cover that top left.
He has to, and Red Gems is going to use the swords to try to block the witch. It'll be hilarious.
We might even see twins walk down and hit this village.
Yeah, this is what's been annoying me about the knights. The knights want to be 1 turn closer to the left than they currently are. Right now it'll take them move, fire moves, move, fire moves again. They're going to get there at the end, and that's if they start moving right now. He's got to take it down with something other than the knights, or he's got to wait for the knights to cross. Ooh, very nice. I like that hit. But the stronghold's like super exposed. And the twins are retreating. Ash knows he's got 10 minutes, right?
Maybe. He could actually just use the twins to defend and attack with everything else.
I mean, he could like only send the 2 knights and the mage to attack the HQ, because that's kind of all you need for twins. Jeez.
No, you need more, because think of where the knights have to stand. There are 3 spaces that fire covers. It's the river, top of the bridge, and top left of the bridge. 1 up, 1 to the left of that one. If you go river, it can be hit from that forest that Emeric currently is defending with a pike, so that's a no-go. If it's the bridge, you have to defend the bridge with somebody north of the village, or wait for the fire to get there. It doesn't really matter because Emeric has a pike there that can cross through the village, which the twins chose not to attack. So there's nowhere to put 2 knights that will make this work.
I think he only needs 1. Like, he used 1 knight and a bunch of spear crits, and that's kind of you.
He needs like more spears than that to attack into a dragon, though.
Oh, and he's using his wagon defensively. Like if he isn't moving his spears just like regular move, like he's not going to be able to move stuff in time. Unless he moves his golem to the left. Which would be kind of weird, but...
You could go golem more center, I guess.
The knights need to be on the left. Alright, he's starting to move the pikes in position to defend the middle. But I don't think it's good enough. Mage is in position to defend everyone from the dragon. The mage can't die there, so that's a good spot.
Yeah, nothing can hit the mage, so...
There we go, it's starting to move left. Everyone's
his army
starting
just
to
needs
move
to
left.
move left. Like, he can wall with a bunch of stuff here.
I mean,
Shame we can't afford another dragon.
I'm wondering if he'll have enough time to move left. He is moving a little faster. I will say this.
Well, he kind of has to at this point. I think now that he knows what his plan is, it can go a bit faster. Like, he was maybe like calculating a bunch of turns in advance. Just builds one golem. I actually think this is a fine option. Because he just needs like heavy hitting units to prevent Emeric attacking into him.
He's really delaying that fire, though. He has to have this calculated down to the turn. If he's delaying that much.
His knight reaches crit position next turn.
It does, but the crit positions are still not protected.
That's
They're
a
sort
bit
of
an
like
awkward
counterattack protected.
I don't know how I feel about that ballista position.
I think you need it to... I mean, you don't need it to, like, target the squares next to the HQ, I think. Like, right now, since you move it a little bit to the right, to the left, you can also, like, move it more to the left, and you start damaging the spears that want to attack into the HQ. I don't think it's a bad move.
Actually, Dragon is in range of hitting the headquarters now, so...
That's an
a good
option, but
point.
Dragon doesn't do that much. He needs to have follow-up. He could go Sword Dragon right now. But if he does...
Get a
then
knight in position to hit next turn, actually.
Ooh. Emeric takes sword, Giant takes right wagon, Giant takes bot wagon, Knight crits stronghold. Spot open by stronghold. One Giant's on road. Position
Yeah.
protected by ballista. Mage follow up.
I don't think
That
you want to give the
giant
dragon
can't
the
reach.
one shot on golem, whatever happens.
Emeric takes sword, Giant takes knight.
I don't actually think there's enough to push into that headquarters right now.
Knight won't die.
There's enough spears to clear the knight.
Wait, sorry, whose knight were we talking about? I was talking about Ash's knight.
Oh, right. Oh yeah, that knight's not gonna die. This is actually a really nice defensive formation from Ash.
It is. It's very solid. Emeric can get a hit in on the HQ, but it's really pricey. There's no guarantee of follow-up, and a golem can take the position after. I think I understand Ash's golem position now. He didn't move it further to the left so that it could walk back and stand in front of the stronghold. where the wagon is, just in case Emeric killed the wagon.
Yeah, and
the
there's another
golem's in
golem that can hit.
position to like either defend if Emeric goes in or attack if he doesn't go in enough, basically. So I think Red Gems has to toe the line of like. I mean, Red Gems could also have the option of like just wait this turn, since you've got your ballista in position. The dragon won't be a blocker next turn, because your mage will also be there, and like you basically don't move a lot. And next turn you can start attacking because you're finally like ready to do so.
Well, he's backing off the stronghold. But Gems must have figured he can't take it in time.
It's also the fact that if you put up somewhat of a defense, Ash is going to have to use his time into thinking about the attack.
Yeah. Red Gems doesn't have to win, they just have to not lose. Remember the 3 tiles to watch. It's the river above that golem, one up left of that, and one up left of that, to the right of the green mage. Those are the 3 night crit tiles. If they're going to win without night crits...
Here with the sword.
I guess he just wants to damage the spear, but...
I mean, swords aren't gonna do much if you're fighting in a very restricted area because of fire. So I can understand it, and it's not like you're gonna play once the fire is done because of how the timers are right now. But yeah, it looks like Red Gems has decided what he wants to do.
Oh, somebody needs to go in front of that ballista.
It doesn't matter. He's throwing away the ballista.
Yeah, if something goes for the ballista, it's... I mean, I guess the golem's gonna go in front of her. Yeah, the sword is enough, because...
Yeah. Otherwise the night crit just walks down and kills it.
Like, I also have to say, Ash doesn't have a good composition to fight into Emeric Crystal. Which, in theory, you don't want to do anyways, but never hurts to be ready.
Yeah, one archer here would just walk forward and pick off the crystal. And something I've learned from watching Red Jam stream is that he really likes to put a dragon in the middle just because it can hit. It just threatens so much.
Can hit everything.
Yep. So, ooh, we got a harpy and a dog.
Yeah, Harpy makes sense. At this point, it's more about what's already on the board, and there's only one mage on the board.
And this is it.
Yeah, Ash has to end this game in the next 2 turns.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, here we go. He's playing aggressive already.
Yeah, he's got to go in. Those pikes are a really nice threat on the stronghold. But that first one can get taken down by the dog. Oof. Yep.
He can actually walk his golem forward to clear that dog, and there is no counter attack because anything that hits that golem dies.
But remember, Ash may lose if this attack fails. Went for the dragon.
Dragon hits the HQ.
There's only one night crit square available. It's to the right of the green mage. It's the only one left.
So
He doesn't put a knight there, he's not going for crits.
I think he's gonna put the golem in position to attack, maybe. Oh no, the knight does go.
There it
into
is.
position.
He needs one more thing to hit it, because that dragon is dead.
The knight crit won't be enough to finish everything, but Red Jams is gonna have to hit the knight with something maybe. Or he'll have to clear the spears and make sure only the knight can hit.
Something has to stand in front of that knight, or it'll die to the dragon.
I'm assuming it's going to be a golem. And he can essentially move his whole army to the left now because his HQ is not under threat. And yeah, he moves the golem there.
Well, the HQ is under threat, but it's not under threat of being killed before he kills his opponent, which is the key part.
Yeah, he went for the hilarity option. I don't know if I like that, though.
I think I like it because you put a
The
sword
mage
in
can
the
die.
way. You put a sword in the way of whatever wants to attack the golem, and the golem has to be attacked.
It doesn't matter, he
So,
exposed the
He will have
left
to
of his
kill
crit
the
knight.
sword.
1, 2, 3, 4.
No, nothing
Oh,
can reach
yeah,
that
the-
though.
Yeah, the dragon.
Oh, the
can
dragon
reach
can.
that.
It can. Left of the critting knight.
That said, his own golem can just walk forward and hit the HQ.
Yeah, but that's 48 average.
Well, he still has 2 turns on fire, so it's gonna be complicated for Red Jams to defend this.
Wait.
He has to kill the 2 spears for sure.
There is a funny but horrible option on the table. Red Jams is so low on time. Ash could disregard the game, capture a village, stall for 1 minute, and then on his turn, deliberately not do anything and wait for sudden death, and he'd win. Sorry, our Red Jams could. He doesn't even have to capture anything. Screw it. His dragon could take out the road village.
I don't think so, because Ash has more than 1 minute 30 seconds right now.
Yeah, sudden death only
So you need
applies.
like, if Ash still kills the HQ, you won't get sudden death.
Yeah, and
I
sudden
guess.
death only applies if Red Jams is on 30 seconds or less. So
You'd basically have to wait for 17 minutes. I mean, which is probably what you were saying. But
Right. Basically, I'm saying that given the board state, since Red Jams can take a village at any time, and I'm not sure if it's like beginning of your turn or end of turn how it works. I wonder what the unit
beginning.
comp is.
oops, sorry, I knocked my mic there. They're even on income, so
Right, beginning of your turn. So if it's beginning of your turn, Red Jams can deliberately trigger sudden death, take a village, be ahead on a village. It is now Ash's turn. Ash immediately triggers sudden death and loses if Ash goes below 30 seconds. So Ash doesn't have his full clock. He really only has his full clock minus 30 seconds, as long as Red Jams can take at least 1 village away. If they're thinking about that. I don't know if
I
Red
mean,
Jams is thinking about
I think
that.
they're more thinking about how to defend the HQ in the next 2 turns.
Probably.
yeah, because there's going to be 2 squares open on that headquarters. There's nothing Red Jams can do to prevent that. He has to kill stuff that can hit his headquarters. We might see things like, I guess the mage walks into the forest and crits the sword?
I think you only need to. I mean, at least you need to kill the 2 spears on the left. So Red Jam should probably be doing that. He's probably considering what to do with his dragon. Because if the dragon can kill a spear on the left, then it's probably what he'll do.
But he has a crit path with one of his knights.
Yeah, the
So-
dragon has to hit the knight.
The stronghold can take a knight crit. As long as it only takes the knight crit. It can't take anything else.
I don't know why he's killing the dragon. It's gonna die next turn anyway.
He might be trying to open up a path for the knight. So that it could crit the spear.
Yeah, that's true actually. Yeah, and then he kills it with the 8 health sword.
Nah, you want to kill it with the full health sword. That way the dog can hit the lower one. It's not a crit
yeah.
anyway, is it? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah, it is. Yeah. So full health sword top hits, then knight crit,
Oh,
then dog
no,
goes
like,
in,
Full
then
health sword
7,
runs to
then
the
8
right.
on top.
Health sword runs like 2 squares to the right essentially and hits the full health spear.
Healing the low health spear.
Is this gonna be like a spear suicide?
I
I'm
think he's
so
got no
confused.
choice, but dragon has to hit the knight on the left, and golem
Yeah.
has to hit the golem on the left. He's gonna lose both units. But that stops it. I
don't
think.
think I'm not sure you need to hit the golem.
If you do hit the golem, you have to be very careful because if you put it into crit, then it will just walk up and hit the headquarters anyway.
Oh, something red gems might do. That
What?
once you send the dragon left of the knight, you just find a way to punish the mage after it hits the dragon.
What's he doing?
He's gonna lose a lot. Oh, maybe he's trying to like needle through and hit with a
Oh,
golem.
I think he wants to kill the golem. Or maybe not.
I think he just panicked.
I don't really like that.
Oh, he wanted to get that golem through. That's really nice. That's really nice. That might do it. I didn't see this at all.
Or Emeric going next to the river, but there's no swords nearby, so getting the witch even.
As long as Emeric
think
can't die,
no.
and I don't think he can.
I think the purpose of the witch is to be an air unit that has high movement that can potentially go in front of a knight path.
Alright, a lot of things are gonna go burn right now. Boom. That was a big flame.
Mage heal, knight, and golem. Can they
Oh.
do it?
The mage heal can heal the spears.
One
and
of
then
the,
the full health knight can kill the sword. and then
wait,
the
how
spears
much
can attack the HQ.
how much damage does a headquarters do to a spear?
Enough to kill the 15. I don't think enough to kill the 42.
Because he
let
could just
me
kill the
check.
sword with his.
Yeah, with the
With
knight,
his
yeah.
knight,
Like
yeah.
I was saying.
Oh, I was
And then
thinking just
mage
like
could
the
heal knight
42 health
golem.
spear, but yeah.
Yeah, he has golem and then 26% knight crit and the spears, but I'm not sure that's enough. Because he only
Golem's
has one
48.
to
What's
heal.
80% to 48? It's like 37. So let's say 37 from the golem. That's a little bit over half. Knight crit is 56. What's a
I'm opening the calculator.
fourth of a knight crit? That's like 15. So we're on 42. It's not enough. Even with the 4 spear crit, it's not enough. I am seriously impressed with how Red Jams did this. I could not have thought of a better way. Like getting that other golem through, I wouldn't have thought of that. The dragon did hit the knight, the golem did hit left of the golem, I was right there. But using the knight and killing it to get that golem through, I wouldn't have thought of that at all.
Oh, Does the HQ like kill the 26 knights?
It should
Ultimately, it
kill the
doesn't
15
matter.
spear.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
Even if everything suicides, there's not enough damage to do it. I think Red Jams wins.
Wait,
It's a fourth
what
of
if
a
the
knight
what
crit.
if the 15% spear hit is a crit?
I see what you
Oh,
mean with like the
fucking
wagon thing.
Yeah.
Hmm.
If he's going for that, he's got to do it before the golem hits.
Well, you still have the next turn, but Ash is so low on time. He could have so many plays where he threatens the lethal to force Red Jams to put units into fire. But at this point, like, doing this is basically giving up because next turn... Oh,
What?
and twins are on the road. Oh no. He's getting in position to kill the HQ next turn.
Eh?
Oh my god.
But that's not gonna work. Because of the dragon.
As long as he doesn't die.
He's gonna die. I don't see how he can cover this.
He's not on road, is he? Oh, he is on road.
He is.
Oh,
That's
it's rule
why.
number 1. Wait,
You
where
could
is the
put
dragon?
The knight the left of the dragon. Hang on. No,
Where is
but
the
then
dragon?
golem, it's in the
Saykoya,
forest.
is there a dragon?
Yeah,
There
there's
is
one
a
in the
dragon.
forest.
Oh, it's
Remember
red.
at
I'm sorry,
night.
the green dragon died, not the red dragon. Yeah, you're right, he's dead. Oh, wow. It sucks to lose to rule number 1.
Oh, it's amazing to lose the rule number.
It doesn't even matter. He dropped below 30. Red Gems could take a village and win at this point.
Hmm.
I think this twins is very dead.
Yeah.
Like golem plus dragon will do it.
Could potentially just yeah.
Yeah, 23%. Yeah, golem's just gonna walk around and kill him.
GG.
GG.
That was a really solid game.
Yeah, that's not what I expected, but very good game.
I love that the dash counter has like Ash with 11-11 and Red Gems on 10-10. Oh, that was such a good game. I mean, like, I feel like Ash could have just, if he just played quicker, like he would have had more opportunities to do more things, but
He would have had like the other options of twins where it's like you put your knight in crit position so that you force your opponent to sacrifice units to the fire to kill it. Like he could have got a golem like that. But these kind of plays don't work when you either get the HQ or lose.
That's why I was saying the knights had to be there a turn earlier. The whole point of doing the twins fire, like 1 and 2 away from the stronghold, is that you have 2 turns to attack in with your knights.
I mean, in theory he did, but it was just his stuff got cleared too quickly.
Yeah, Red Gem's got a path towards towards the twins' arm position, basically.
That was such a solid puzzle mode. By the way, could he have won if Ash had done the pike thing we were talking about? I don't know.
No, I don't think he would
No,
have had to have
no, I
like
don't think
perfect
there was
high
enough
rolled
damage on
everything.
the board.
Well, because it had like 20 something left. And if you do a 15 and it suicides, which it would have, because a stronghold always does max damage regardless of health, and then the 4 also crit, that's over half a pike of crit on a stronghold, which I think is like half of 40 something, which is 20 something. So he
Alright,
might have had
so
it.
a
I'm not
15
sure.
spear is like 6.75 average on the stronghold, and the 40 is 18. So maybe. But then no, it wouldn't have worked because he only gets the 15 suicide.
No, 15 suicide then. Oh, you're right,
He
because we
didn't
still need
have
someone for
another
the knight to
spot.
hit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he only had 2 spots.
yeah,
I'm
that's true. So it would
getting-
have to just be the 4.
I'm getting word from the players they're gonna play game 2 probably tomorrow. Ash has to go, sadly. Oh no, Ash. Jams has to go, I'm afraid.
That was a heck of a game.
It was well played.